Energy here in Las Vegas. It's the annual Big League Weekend. The Cubs making their 13th consecutive appearance here in Vegas as they play the Cincinnati Reds in the first of a two-game set. Spring training baseball on CSN Chicago, presented by Canals Auto Parts. And great to have you with us for Cubs baseball, along with Jim DeShays. I'm Len Casper, and here these last couple of years when we come to Vegas, it is the return to his hometown for Chris Bryant.
Yeah, a conquering hero. He returns with an MVP award in his pocket. Last year when he showed up, he was the Rookie of the Year. He just continues to get better and better. The home run production up. He hit 39 home runs last year, best in the previous season by 13. Cut way down on his strikeout rate. That was a big key. And also the damage he did against the Cincinnati ball club. He had 10 of his 39 home runs against these Reds.
Speaking of cutting down on strikeouts and walks and all of that stuff, Kyle Hendricks actually strikes out more people than you would think. He hasn't walked anybody.
Yeah, above league average strikeout rate last year for Hendricks, which may surprise some because he has the reputation of being a finesse pitcher. But yeah, he's been spot on this spring. And a lot of times with finesse guys like Hendricks, it takes a while in the spring to get the feel for the off-speed pitches, but that has not been the case. That changeup has been devastating. He's at the top of his game.
So a couple of day games here this weekend in Las Vegas, then back to Arizona for 3, off to Houston for 2, and then we start the regular season next weekend in St. Louis. So we have the Cubs and the Reds coming up. Robert Stevenson will start for Cincinnati. Cubs baseball on CSN next. Beautiful setting here in Las Vegas. Cubs have been coming here every year now since 2005. Big League Weekend. And a ton of Cub fans in the stands. There's the, I think it was the 2005 Cactus League MVP, Henry Blanco, as so dubbed by us when he hit a game-ending home run in this ballpark to end spring training, which automatically qualifies for the league MVP.
He's ready to get home as this exhibition season winds down.
Kyle Hendricks will start Game 5 of the regular season. I'll tell you about that in a little bit, but now the starting lineup for Jim Riggleman's Cincinnati Reds. He's the bench coach for Brian Price, and he's managing their club this weekend. Billy Hamilton in center, former Cub Arismendi Alcantara at short, Joey Votto, Eugenio Suarez, 3 and 4. Jesse Winker will start the year in the minor leagues. Tucker Barnhart's the catcher, Patrick Kivlahan, Tony Renda, trying to find a way onto this roster on opening night. And Robert Stevenson, the pitcher, will hit ninth.
It's a big outfield here, 433 to straightaway center field. We'll take a look at the Cubs defensively. Charged with patrolling that outfield will be Schwarber Almora Jr. Good to see him back in there. He hurt his neck diving for a ball yesterday, but good to go. John Andrioli will play right field, and infield of La Stella, Young, Happ, and Bryant over at first base. Miguel Montero behind the plate. And Kyle Hendricks is having a very nice spring after having an outstanding year in which he led Major League Baseball with a 2.13 ERA. Will work for the 5th time this spring, 1-0 with a 2.63. And as we mentioned in the open, he hasn't walked a man yet this spring. The professor is pretty well locked in here.
Chicago native Dan Bellino back of the plate. Kerwin Danley, Ed Hickox, and Dana DeMuth around the bases, and it is howling out to right. It is 364 to the power alley in right center, and that might be the place to try to hit a fly ball today. It's 433 to straightaway center, so if you're a pitcher here, right? Fly ball guy, you want to pitch to the middle of the field.
Yeah, try to keep the ball in the middle of the yard. The ball, even without the wind, carries quite well here. And with the way the wind's blowing here today, anything in the air is going to be a little bit of an adventure. This pitcher does have the benefit of a very high outfield wall, so this park will yield a lot of doubles and triples. And if you're looking for a triples candidate, here's one in the batter's box right now.
So Hendricks to Hamilton, who shows bunt and takes a strike, and we are underway. Billy Hamilton recently dealt with some Achilles inflammation. Called strike 2. I have to say, and I've seen all of Kyle's starts this spring, JD, and he just looks like he didn't have an off season. He just keeps doing what he did at the end of last year. 1-2.
Yeah, he was so consistent all last year. He rolls into spring training here. Maybe the only thing different that I've noticed is maybe a few more elevated fastballs.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. I agree with you there, yes.
But in terms of being locked in and having command of his stuff, yeah, he's that guy. This time they're trying to crowd him with a little heater. It's up, and he gets a swing through from Hamilton.
Another switch batter, former Cub Arismendi Alcantara. Yesterday in Goodyear, he had a game-ending 2-run double to beat the Brewers 12-11. '97 Major League games with the Cubs and Oakland. And when he got to the big leagues with the Cubs, there was kind of one hole in his game. I mean, he's versatile, he's a switch hitter, can play multiple defensive positions, very athletic. Really had trouble with off-speed pitches, particularly the changeup, which Hendricks just threw him.
Yeah, and he's got a little pop in his bat, decent power numbers, and limited playing time. He only had a handful of at-bats with the A's last year, but yeah, the soft stuff like that always created problems for him. A lot of swings and misses out of the zone. And then what we found is he would get so locked in on that changeup that he wouldn't be able to pull the trigger on a good fastball.
Hendricks with a 2-2, and this is fouled back to the seats. There is a ton of Cubs blue in the audience here today. As you would expect. And I know you've done your research. You were chatting with a local expert on such matters. Here's the pitch. Tapped foul. When people come to Vegas, they bet on the Cubs.
Yeah. What did we hear today? The
3-1.
3-1 favorites to win the World Series. That's insane.
Bounce to second. Ian Happ with an easy play. Two down, and here's Joey Votto. Split squad weekend for both teams. I mentioned Jim Riggleman, the ex-Cubs manager, is running the Reds here in Las Vegas. Joe Madden back in Arizona with the other Cubs split squad today as they play the Rockies. And that'll land foul. Davey Martinez, the Cubs bench coach, is the manager this weekend. And Javier Baez is back from the WBC, and he is in the Cubs lineup against Colorado in Scottsdale today.
It's kind of a welcome back tour for Jimmy Riggleman. He managed here in Las Vegas years ago as a member of the Padre organization.
The Las Vegas 51s are the AAA club. They call this ballpark home, and they're the top affiliate of the Mets. Votto likes to choke up with 2 strikes, just able to get a piece of that pitch. And I'm sitting next to a former Las Vegas star.
Yeah, I actually played for Jimmy Riggleman. Look at there's that Votto. He's sitting on a pitch and is fooled that he has the ability to just quickly throw his hands. And fortunately for him, the ball just fouled off instead of rolled meekly into play. Yeah, that was 1992 when I was here with Jim Riggleman.
Jim, one of the nicer guys in the game.
He's the pride of Frostburg State in
Nickname?
Maryland.
Nickname?
Oh, man, I got nothing. Not without cheating, anyway.
3-2. A Eugenio Suarez waits on deck. Hendricks can't believe it. I thought it might have been called a strike. As Votto able to hold up. That's his first walk of the spring.
And no surprise it comes to Joey Votto for a couple of reasons. One, Votto's got a great eye, and two, he sometimes is going to get a benefit of the doubt call. Dan Bellino must have deemed that ball a little high, but certainly rule book, that's a strike.
Right, so it's kind of a battle of wills. You have a guy who doesn't walk anybody against a guy who walks a ton. But Votto has more time, right? Ground ball up the middle. And Happ just able to knock it down. That'll be a hit for Suarez.
Yeah, that's where the conditions in the ballpark today, this is the kind of an inning where it can get away from you. You have 2 quick outs. You think you got a guy punched out the end of the inning. The next thing you know, little roller turns into a base hit. Now you're in a situation where someone lifts one into the air. You could be down 3 runs.
That'll bring up one of the Reds' top prospects, Jesse Winker. Yesterday was officially optioned to AAA. First round pick 2012 and a fly ball to center. Almora back now in. And that's it for the Reds. They strand a couple. Chris Bryant and the Cubs coming up when we come back. Cubs 14-13 all time, 27 exhibition games here at Cashman Field. Kyle Schwarber will lead off and play left. Chris Bryant is at first today and grew up here in Las Vegas. A lot of fans on the field getting autographs from him before the game. Montero, Almora, 3 and 4. Tommy LaStella is at third. Ian Happ with a booming home run yesterday. John Andrioli back from the WBC is in right. Hendricks the pitcher 8, and Chesney Young the shortstop batting 9.
Reds defensively. Triplahan, the former footballer, in left. Speedster Hamilton center. Winkers in right. Suarez, Alcantara, Renda, Votto third to first. It's kind of strange to look at the Reds on the right side of the infield and not see Votto paired with Brandon Phillips. But he's now a Brave. Tucker Barnhart's catcher. Robert Stevenson has been one of the top Reds pitching prospects for 2-3 years now. Still hasn't quite figured it out. Command is an issue, but he's got electric stuff. He can go mid-upper 90s with a heater. He's got a plus changeup and a real sharp curveball. So all the ingredients are there. It's just command and consistency that have been the issues thus far.
6'2", 200. As I mentioned, split squads for both teams this weekend, and I guess it's good for the Reds in that a lot of their starting pitching candidates get a chance to work this weekend, but I'm sure it's a little tricky for Brian Price, who would like to be able to watch all his guys. They know the top 2 spots, Scott Feldman and Brandon Finnegan, and then upwards of 7 candidates for the final 3 spots.
And I'm sure Brian Price would tell you he would prefer not to have that problem this late in camp. He'd like to be locked in on guys because, well, I guess depending on who comes to Cincinnati, who goes to AAA, they all have to be stretched out and ready to take on starters' innings.
Good pass at the ball by Schwarber, 3 and 2. Kyle caught 4 innings in a minor league game yesterday. But slated to be the Cubs' opening night left fielder and leadoff man. And he walked him, and here comes a hometown hero. Just talking about his hometown as a baseball factory, and boy, it's hard to argue with him, right? Going back to Greg Maddux. We got Bryce Harper and Chris, Joey Gallo.
Yeah, up and coming.
Chris Carter.
Slugger. It's kind of ironic in a town that is known for the sizzle. Chris Bryant, a native son, is just all about the substance, right? I mean, he's not a flashy guy. He's kind of quiet, just goes about his business.
Here's a pitch. Tie.
And you're talking about Kyle as the leadoff man, and you saw a perfect example of why. The disciplined plate approach, taking the walk to start the ball game. A dangerous batter that pitchers are going to be a little wary of early. Chance to really put pressure on a starting pitcher early in the ball game and maybe throw a crooked number up on the board. Well, Bryant thrived in these situations last year. Ahead in the count.
Fastball at 93, 2 balls and a strike.
Another area where he made strides last year was 2 strikes. Batting average was up. On base percentage after 2 strike confrontations went up significantly.
Fair ball. Gonna rattle around in the corner. Schwarber on his way to third. It's a double for Bryant. Cubs in business. Second and third, nobody out.
Two-seam fastball, inner third. Short stride, quick hands, good result. Two base hit, second and third, nobody out. Bryant wore out Reds pitching last year to a tune of a .364 batting average. He hit 10 home runs against them in 77 at-bats, the most by any National League player against any one opponent.
Now the catcher, Montero. And that will score a run. 2 for 1 as well. Bryant advancing to third. RBI ground out. Cubs lead 1-0.
Montero went up there, looking to do some damage early. Got a fastball in the middle of the zone. Rolled over on it a little bit, but you could tell he was very cognizant of trying to pull that ball. Got the desired result, one in, and Bryant over to third base, where a ground ball will score him as well.
Albert had to leave the game yesterday on a diving attempt out in center. He tweaked his neck, but thankfully nothing serious. Knocked down by Barnhart. Cubs dealing with some little nagging day-to-day things. Ben Zobrist with some neck stiffness. Addison Russell with a back, but neither considered serious at all. And again, if you're like JD and me, it's just stuff you live with every day. Back, got a neck.
Whoa.
Not a good throw, but Votto bails out Stevenson. So that's out number 2. Base coaches here this weekend. Mariano Duncan is over at first. Franklin Font is at third.
And ground ball anywhere but there, gets a run home. Yep. Kind of like that jump shooter that's left all alone out there. Nobody on him.
Tommy La Stella. Hit a ton, but foul.
Well, that was quick. Elevated heater, and he pounced on it. Stevenson last year made 8 starts for the Reds. He was 2-3, had an ERA of 6.08, and like so many Reds pitchers, the long ball, a big issue. He allowed 9 home runs in just 37 big league innings. At AAA, he was 8-9 with a .441 earned run average.
It's from Northern California. And is 1-1 downstairs for a ball.
Oh, by the way, Frostburg State, they're the Bobcats. Jimmy Riggleman's he's in the Hall of Fame there. Played baseball and basketball.
Now 3-1. It all starts for real a week from tomorrow. John Lester against Carlos Martinez at Busch Stadium.
Stella putting together a good at-bat here. Stevenson made a good pitch with that 3-1 heater. You'd rather not offer at a pitcher's pitch in that count.
Second walk of the inning. If they actually had a Cactus League MVP, Ian Happ would be a fine candidate. He's second in the league with a .409 batting average. Hit a long 2-run homer in the 9th inning, batting right-handed yesterday that went over the Cubs bullpen at Sloan Park.
Yeah, he has certainly opened up eyes. It's not like he was a beneath-the-radar guy. He's one of the top prospects in the game. But he has made a lot of hard contact this spring.
That missed badly. And it's 2-0.
Played his college ball in Cincinnati at the University of said city. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hack you like to see on 2-0. Talking to John Maley about him last week. He likes his swing better from the left side than the right. And the results last year better from the left than the right. But he's got a good swing from both sides of the plate. You can't say that about all switch hitters.
That's a base hit. Here comes Bryant. Cubs lead 2-0.
More hard contact from Ian Happ. Ball looked like it might get in on him, but quick enough to get the barrel to that one.
That is Ted Power, acting pitching coach this weekend. Ted's official title with the Reds, assistant pitching and bullpen coach. So 25 pitches here in the first, and Stevenson still not out of it. Here's Andrioli, who had a huge WBC with Team Italy. Hit over 300 with 3 homers in the first round. Playing right today, can play all 3 spots. Base hit. LaStella around third. He'll be held by Franklin Font, and the bases are loaded. And there is action in the Reds bullpen as Kyle Hendricks will bat.
That would be Austin Orweiler warming up for Cincinnati.
Swinging bunt. Barnhart will make the play. Cubs send 8 to the plate. 2 score, 3 are stranded, and after 1, 2-0 Cubs.
Hey, welcome back. Cubs lead 2-0 as we head to the second inning. Chicago Cubs spring training baseball is always live with the MLB.com at-bat mobile app. Stay connected all spring with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball. There's some live baseballs. And there's a gentleman in a sack.
He looks comfortable.
Yeah, he's going to fly away there.
Yeah. I'm sure he's anchored down.
Saving it out for a special someone.
So a few notes about this facility. We've been coming here for a while. Cashman Field. It is named after James Big Jim Cashman. He and his family have been entrepreneurs here in Las Vegas for a long time. AAA World Series was held here in the late 90s. The Oakland A's played some regular season games here in 1996 as they were renovating the Coliseum in Oakland. Barnhart gets a hold of one. Almora on the move, makes the grab on the warning track. I also think there's something about being in Las Vegas and having a ballpark. You have to have the word cash involved, right?
Yeah.
In some form or fashion.
Well, you know, and over the years, and by the way, nice play by Almora out there. Got a real good jump on that ball. But over the years, as baseball has either expanded or contemplated expanding, Vegas comes up as a potential site. Baseball has been hesitant to come here because of the whole gambling issue.
Well, the fact that the National Hockey League is expanding here next season. We'll talk more about that in the third. The NFL might end up here sooner than later. Kivlahan bounces to LaStella. That'll bring up the second baseman, Tony Renda. Fastball strike from Hendricks. Kyle's from Southern California. An Ivy Leaguer. He went to Dartmouth. Look out. And a defensive looking check swing foul by Renda.
Time for a little cut change piece. Yep. Nope. Threw it inside. How about that?
Couldn't get him to bite.
Just always thinking out there. Montero called changeup away. Hendricks wanted to throw it inside. Got a spot. Couldn't get him to fish though, but a quality pitch on 0-2.
I mentioned off the top, Kyle will start game 5. It has nothing to do with his, quote, ranking in the rotation. It comes down to matchups. The Cubs wanted John Lackey to face the Cardinals in that first series. And Joe also wanted to split up Brett Anderson and John Lester, the lefties. Renda will make his way to second. And that's a 2-out double.
Yeah, I don't think nobody's going to ever characterize Kyle Hendricks as a 5th starter, not with what he did last year. He just happens to be pitching the 5th game of the year. And if you were to stereotype a 5th starter, it would be that guy that you're you're a little queasy about. You're going to make a quicker move to your bullpen. You're going to skip him every now and then. That's not going to be the case with Kyle Hendricks.
One strike on the pitcher, Stevenson. That's a base hit. Billy Hatcher is going to hold the runner Renda. The last possible second as Andreoli got to it quickly and right.
I'm guessing regular season, that's a send situation for Hatcher with 2 outs in the inning. Like sometimes during the exhibition season, third base coaches are hesitant to run guys into potential collision plays at home plate.
Here's Hamilton, who each of the last 2 years has suffered a season-ending injury while leading the majors in stolen bases. Last 3 seasons, his stolen base totals 56, 57, and 58.
At 58, last year he was only caught 8 times.
But if he played 160 games and got on base at a 380 clip, he'd steal 100, wouldn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would think, that's all systems go with Hamilton. If he's healthy, they're just going to turn him loose and let him run as much as he wants. Reds finished middle of the pack in runs scored last year in the National League. He showed marked improvement last year over the 2015 season in terms of his batting average. Hit .260 last year. He's never going to hit for a lot of power.
His career on base average .297, but last year .321. Foul tip, 3-2. Runner goes from first on the 3-2, hit high in the air to right. And foul. Hit it a ton. Again, the wind helping a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to contradict myself here. I said he's never going to hit for a lot of power, and he won't. But every now and then he gets into one, and it surprises you.
Ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Hamilton's never walked more than 36 times, and I remember with Juan Pierre, his on-base average was largely a function of his batting average, and Juan would swing at a lot of pitches out of the zone with 2 strikes just to kind of hang in there. But you talk to some baseball people about guys like Hamilton and Juan Pierre, and they do get challenged more than the Joey Vottos. So,
right, a low walk rate isn't always a function of undisciplined hitting.
Correct.
It's because, again, if you don't have a lot of power, people are going to challenge you. And if you have Billy Hamilton's speed, the last thing you want to do is walk him.
So it's a little bit of a combination. Hendricks trying to get out of some trouble here in the second.
Thrown 23 pitches so far in this inning.
Wind is going to keep this ball on the field of play. Montero at foul ground. As we check out the Venetian in Las Vegas, Cubs lead 2-0.
The legendary James Taylor returns to Wrigley Field on Monday, July 17th with special guest Bonnie Raitt. Don't miss your chance to see this rock and roll Hall of Famer. Tickets are available now at Cubs.com/James Taylor.
Big league weekend in Las Vegas. Tim Adelman, Eddie Butler will be the starters tomorrow. We'll get a look at Mike Montgomery out of the bullpen today. He will begin the season in the Cubs bullpen, but pretty decent chance he'll make a spot start or two down the road. There's Chesney Young to lead off the Cubs second. And usually, I assume, the Cubs will be the road team tomorrow, even though they'll probably wear the home pinstripe pants. 300 minor league games for Young. He is a career .314 hitter. And he takes a strike.
Yeah, with a career .384 on base percentage. So high average hitter who works walks. He doesn't hit for power. It's one downside to his offensive game.
Chopper to third. Handled by Suarez. Back to the top, and Mr. Schwarber walked and scored in the opening inning. Well, Brian Price talked about, at least contemplating Joey Votto as his leadoff hitter. I think last year we saw him bat second a fair amount. Probably doesn't really matter where you hit Votto. Just hit him early in the lineup. But if you had Joey Votto, where would you bat him? I like him as a two hitter.
Yeah, I like him too. There's been a lot of analytics done that says your best hitter should hit in the two hole.
Chris Bryant hits second for the Cubs.
There's a lot depends on the makeup of your lineup, independent of that individual.
Well, if you look at their team right now, so the Cubs have Schwarber and Bryant 1-2. If you're the Reds, Billy Hamilton is kind of the classic prototypical leadoff guy who can run. But he's got to get on base at better than a 300 clip to be an effective leadoff hitter. Cubs don't plan on running a whole lot. Joe Madden has been very upfront about that. So if you're not a team that's going to steal a lot of bases, then
yeah, I like the on-base presence at the top of the order. You know, if you had to choose speed versus on-base, I would lean towards on-base. And we've talked about this earlier this spring. With a guy like Schwarber too, the fact that he's such a dangerous hitter. So it's the on-base ability, the on-base skills with the slugging that can be a little unnerving for a pitcher starting a ball game. And we saw it here today when he worked that leadoff walk. You just don't want to, you know, give in and throw him a cookie.
Another 3-ball count for Kyle.
And this isn't a question where Joe Madden has gone to Kyle Schwarber and said, okay, you're a leadoff guy, so I want you to take this kind of an approach to the plate.
Strikes out this time. Just wants him to be Kyle.
It's that you have this skill set, and we think it fits in this spot. This time, Stevenson gets the best of him. A challenge fastball. He's able to slip it by him.
And I think it says a lot about Schwarber and his maturity that Joe would have him be the leadoff guy and that he won't try to be something he's not, because you often do hear stories about guys who have down years and then they come back the next spring and say, well, you know, I got moved to the 5 spot, so I was trying to be more of an RBI guy, or, you know, kind of tying themselves up in knots based on their role changing. And that doesn't really seem to be something that Schwarber will worry about.
No. Point of emphasis this offseason for Chris Bryant was working on driving the ball the other way.
Straightaway center this time. Handled by Hamilton to end the second. 2-0 Cubs early from Vegas. Hey, great to have with us our good friend Rossi Rallen-Cotter, who has the largest business card ever because his title is President, CEO, Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. You can fit that all on your card, right, Rossi?
It's got a front and back, so we can make it happen.
Nice to see you here
Good
on
to see you.
Cubs television. I know you got Reds gear on, but there's a Cubs logo
too, yes.
right there. Well, you dialed up some good weather. Once again, the sun is shining up to 70 degrees, and it's always great to be back here, and there's tons of Cubs blue in the stands.
It's fantastic. It's the 27th year of Big League Weekend and Major League Baseball, and the 13th time the world champion Chicago Cubs have been here, so this is great.
Swing and a miss by Joey Votto, and congrats. You've got a National Hockey League team starting up play this coming fall. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, yes, it is. The Golden Knights, and we're very excited. They start this October, and they're drafting players now in the new T-Mobile facility out at on the Strip. And this is our first professional Major League franchise, and so we are, as a community, very excited. And then, of course, there's conversations about the Oakland Raiders moving, so that's something else that we're hoping will happen sometime next week.
So, yeah, this is a newsy time here in terms of the sports landscape here in Las Vegas. Who threw out the first pitch today? His name was Ashton, and his last name was familiar.
Right. We had 7-year-old Ashton Carter throwing it out, and the other grandson was Jax Chupila, and he was 6 years old, and he threw one out too. So two grandsons.
Very
they
nice.
They had a little speed on the ball.
They rushed it up there pretty good.
They were doing good. So they both played Little League Baseball. Jax lives in Chicago, so he's a Chicago fan, and Ashton lives in Phoenix, and he's a Reds fan. Yes.
Joey Votto draws a walk for the second time here today. Here comes Eugenio Suarez. So you've got the NCAA tournament going on, and it usually kind of matches up when we come here toward the end of March. And I was out walking around on the Strip last night, and it was just fun to watch people watching the games.
Oh, most definitely. You know, we had 4 of the college tournaments in town during March Madness, as well as our NASCAR event, and of course Big League Weekend, and everyone wants to be in Las Vegas for the tournament to be able to bet, and excitement of that. And so it's a month of sports across the board for anybody who loves sports.
Runner at first, nobody out. Suarez takes high.
Rossi, do you have any idea of the pre-sale for season tickets for the hockey team? I'm assuming that's really good and there's a lot of buzz.
They did. They had commitments of over 13,000 seats when they went to make their application, and so that was part of the selection process. And like I said, the town is very, very excited about that. And we had minor league hockey here for years, and they drew well, 5,500, 6,000. We have a lot of people from areas that have hockey in their hometowns that moved here. So we think it's going to be a fun and exciting activity, and those fans from those cities will also come to Las Vegas, just like the fans for the Cubs came in for this, and which is really good.
1-2. Hendricks would love a double play ball here. And diving stop, Chesney Young, and they only get one. Good effort. Happ's throw pulled Bryant off the bag.
That looked like he was going to get that double play sharply hit, but good glove work by Chesney Young, the shortstop. Able to leave his feet. And then Happ trying to be super quick on the turn, just got a little too much air under it.
It's really fun, Rossi. We noticed the last 3 years that it just keeps building. Every time Chris Bryant returns to his hometown, Bryce Harper is from here. So many great baseball programs, and it's become quite a hotbed.
Yes, it has. Not only baseball, but football and basketball too. But we've always been a good baseball community over the years. I grew up here and played ball, high school and Legion, and it's people bring those affiliations, but the product that's coming out of Las Vegas now is for baseball is very strong. And we had a chance to run into Chris in the locker room area, and he was just great with the kids. He's a class act and great athlete, and everybody was excited. Baseball people were excited that the Cubs won the World Series. It was great for baseball.
And we mentioned earlier the Cubs always get a lot of action here in Las Vegas. And this year will be no exception. Outside on Winker. 3-0, JD. after Rossi left, I think 2 years ago, the booth, you said, "Oh, I forgot to ask him," and I said, "I'll remind you for next year." And then we forgot to ask him again. So why don't you ask him the question that you've been
on Friday the 13th? Does betting go up, down, remain flat? Does anybody know? Does anybody study this? It piqued me.
That's a good question.
It's an unlucky day, right? So you think people would say,
"It's not a good question. You don't have to humor him. It's a weird question."
Good question, but for some people it's a lucky day. Some people not so lucky. But I don't think anybody's done a study on that. For Las Vegas, every day is an exciting day, and so I don't think the date is as significant as the fact that it's just a great place to come and have a good time.
I'm guessing if you wander down the street on any night and ask somebody the day of the week or the date, most folks would have no clue.
Or the time of day. You throw that one in there, too. They wouldn't have a clue because they're having such a great time. You can escape and have a super time here, and that's what it's all about.
Runner goes, bounce back to Hendricks. He'll get the out at first. So, Rossi, now you know what it's like to work with him. Those are the kinds of questions that he ponders. So, here you go. We're talking about the sports renaissance here in Las Vegas. And the NHL team name is actually the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yes. And then we have just signed for a second NASCAR race. So next year in 2018, we'll have a March race and a fall race. One of the few cities that have that. We'll have a total of 6 races in those 2 series and all televised. And we have a great NASCAR base, and that will bring hundreds of thousands of people to Las Vegas. And so that's happening. Of course, if the Raiders come, we will be building a 65,000-seat stadium for the Raiders to play, and I'm sure if they do that and they come to Las Vegas and we get that stadium, Super Bowls will be here, and other teams will have a tremendous opportunity to come to experience Las Vegas also.
Well, if you're going to have a Super Bowl, you have to have a lot of hotel rooms. Do you think you have enough?
A little over 150,000, so we can accommodate a few people.
Only more than probably any city in the world.
Actually,
right?
For some cities, we have more hotel rooms than they have a population base.
Right.
And but that's why we were able to accommodate just so many different events and activities and sporting activities, and it makes it easy for people to get here and a price point and a product for everybody.
Do you have a proposed site for the NFL stadium?
They have been looking on the South Strip, which is out where Mandalay Bay and Four Seasons and so forth. That's kind of the site that's been favored. They won't make that decision until they make a decision for the move. So, but it will be close to the resort corridor.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Tucker Barnhart. JD, anything else that you don't want to forget that we have to talk to Rossi about next year?
We've covered it all. No, I have no other.
Does JD have a chance to be in the Las Vegas Baseball Hall of Fame?
Who should I bet on for the Final Four? You got any tips for me?
May the best team win.
Okay.
I have to be Switzerland and those things, so best team win. And I think the best and most important thing is I need to lobby both of you to make sure we have the Cubs here again next year for Big League Weekend, because you guys are great and great for us and Chicago fans, and an opportunity to see the world champions.
Fouled back by Barnhart. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cubs lead 2-0 here in the third on a gorgeous day in Las Vegas. I do like having 2 matinees, so we get to enjoy some of the nightlife tonight.
Right, everybody will have a chance to enjoy what Las Vegas is famous for, and the fans as well as the teams. And it's a good opportunity for you guys to catch one of the shows or one of the great restaurants that we have, and relax and enjoy yourself, because the season will be here before we know it.
Good battle.
How about Carrot Top? How's he doing?
He does great.
He's a permanent show here, and he has
been here for a long time now,
long time. We have a lot of resident entertainers now, and he's one of them. And he's a great community supporter too, and very funny guy. And part of the.
Does he go by Carrot Top?
Carrot Top.
See him and do Carrot? What do you
call him Carrot or Top, one or the other.
Ball booted by Bryant. Suarez not able to score. And that'll be E3.
Maybe a little bit of an in-between hop there. Hendricks' pitch count getting up there now, approaching 70.
And with that, Mike Montgomery is loosening in the Cubs bullpen. Here's Patrick Kivlahan, the left fielder.
Rossi, do you have a favorite? Well, you probably can't answer this one either, but entertainer or performer over the years, somebody that's...
Oh, well, I grew up here, born in northern Kentucky, but I grew up here, and my father was in the game, so I was fortunate to see the Rat Pack and all of those entertainment. Elvis Presley, I saw the Beatles, great entertainment, Michael Jackson over the years. But what makes it so great is there's such a great variety of that. Being able to see Elvis, being able to see Sinatra in person, of course the Beatles, those were highlights. But we have such a great selection, and there's just every night, the Love Show, which is a great Beatles show out there. So, it really is a great selection.
3-0 the count on Kivlahan. Hendricks has walked 3 today, had not walked a batter the entire spring prior to today, and that's ball 4 now to Kivlahan.
Fighting it a little bit here today, and not to make excuses for him, but wind is a tough element to pitch in. I think most guys would tell you that if it's cold, as long as it's not too extreme or hot, even a little rain, but wind sometimes is hard to have a good feel.
Chris Bosio, the Cubs pitching coach, looks on. There's Tony Renda. So the line that I think encapsulates coming to Vegas, the line is, if you can't be at a particular event, Las Vegas is always the next best place to be.
That's correct. That's why the Final Four March Madness is so great for us, because it's a month of everybody totally engaged with basketball and betting. And we have always said, we used to have an ad that said, if you can't be at the Super Bowl, the next best place to be is Las Vegas. So everybody can kind of get together and enjoy the excitement of what happens and be in the sports books and so forth.
I imagine being at one of the sports books during this year's Super Bowl, really just about any of the big championship games, because it's been a wild calendar year, but that game was insane.
It was amazing, totally amazing. The final push and them coming back to win was an amazing victory.
Now Mora back on this ball, and he will get it. So Hendricks had to work hard to get through the third. No hits, couple of walks and an error, but they strand 3. Rossi Rallencotter, thanks so much. As always, we will talk to you next year, and JD will write down a bunch of other great questions.
We'll see what else we can.
Make sure you're here next year. And thank you very much, and have a great stay. And I want to say hello to all those Cubs fans who come to Las Vegas.
You got it. Thanks, Rossi. The beanbag guy has a new friend.
If you inflate it, they will come.
2-0 Cubs lead as they bat in the last of the third.
You know, seeing those people, it reminds me of the old Johnny Bench line about a slump. Ben said a slump is like a soft bed, easy to get into, tough to get out of. It's going to be a challenge. Yeah. The dismount there is going to be problematic for those folks, I think.
Miguel Montero will start it. RBI ground out in the opening inning. Put the Cubs on the board. First pitch strike. Montgomery continues to throw in the Cubs bullpen, so Hendricks may be done for the afternoon. Good rip at that fastball. 1-2. Looks to me, JD, like it's a sellout.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know what the capacity is here, but
I think it's 9 or 10,000. There's your question for Rossi next year. Line shot into the right field corner. Montero will have a long single.
Yeah, sharply hit. It got out there in a hurry. Winker got to it in pretty good shape, so Montero has to drop anchor at first base. He's had 2 good plate appearances. Last time up, he went up, attacked a first pitch fastball, hit a sharp ground ball to the right side that plated one and pushed another runner over to third base. This time, leading off an inning, good AB and a good result.
There's Almora Jr. Look out, Franklin Font. Knocked down by Barnhart.
Spiked a change up there. Last year the Reds really struggled early in the year. Their relief pitching was dismal, historically bad in terms of the amount of home runs they gave up. You alluded to it earlier, the fact that they've got a lot of candidates but still trying to lock in on their rotation. The bullpen has to be better. Raisel Iglesias, who at times was a starter and then a bullpen guy last year, and really performed well in the bullpen. The figures to be the closer or co-closer, but he's hurt right now. He fell in the shower, hurt his hip and elbow, so it looks like he might not start the season on time.
Double play ball. 4-6-3. Well, we saw them last year, and we talked about this idea, and with Iglesias and Michael Lorenzen, a couple of starters turned relievers, they could get multiple innings out of those guys.
Yeah, we saw Iglesias on a couple of occasions come in, you know, pitch 2 1/3, 2 2/3, and just kind of run the table, old school style. Lorenzen has that kind of arm as well. So, it makes sense, too, if you lack depth in your bullpen, if you don't have a lot of guys that you trust, and you can get 5 or 6 outs out of pitcher A on Tuesday night and hand the ball to pitcher B on Wednesday night in a similar role, that might be a better way to do it.
Oh, and 2. Billy Hamilton is playing a very shallow center at the moment. As LaStella strikes out, leadoff single, but the Cubs do not score. They lead after 3, 2-0. The Blackhawks are in Tampa Bay as they try to put the Lightning's playoff hopes to bed. Coverage starts at 6 on CSN with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live, or you can stream the game live on the NBC Sports app. Steven Stamkos is injured right now. This Jonathan Drouin's pretty good with the Lightning. Give you a little scouting report.
Yeah.
Mike Montgomery is in.
Well, Montgomery is pitching for the 6th time this spring. He's 0-2, has a 4.5 ERA. Will start the season in the bullpen. Brett Anderson will claim that spot in the rotation. Montgomery said, I'm good with that. Kind of this utility pitcher role. He can give you some long relief, high leverage situations late in games, and likely to find himself in the rotation at some point as well.
Robert Stevenson is 2 for 2. What did Renda do? Did he fly to center?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So here's Hamilton batting right-handed. So the old adage is life isn't fair. Right? And I think Mike Montgomery would prove that that's the case. But you have to love how he's handled it. He came in nominally in competition with Brett Anderson for the last spot in the rotation, but because of circumstance, and that is Anderson's a starter. He's not a reliever. He's coming off back problems. Montgomery is a guy who can pitch in a lot of different spots. So he was almost penalized for it, but he didn't bat an eye. He said, I just want to get people out.
Yeah, and Joe Madden said as much.
Hamilton strikes out.
Basically told him your versatility has worked against you a little bit here. But that's, and the other part of it is it's pretty easy when you're on a World Series championship team with an eye towards winning another one to kind of, quote unquote, check your ego at the door and do what's best for the team. I'll tell you the other part of it. Getting the last out and earning the save in Game 7 of a World Series might change your opinion a little bit about bullpen versus rotation.
Sure. Alcantara gets a hold of one. Andrioli hoping it hits the wall, but it's over the barrier. A 2-run shot to the opposite way. And we're tied at 2. A very stiff wind today certainly helped that ball get out of the yard.
Yeah, especially Alcantara hitting from the right side, going the other way. We talked to his first at-bat about his surprising power, and people who are watching the Cubs when he was with them will recall that conversation. We had it frequently. He said, you know what, this guy, he surprises you every now and then the way he'll deliver the barrel to the ball. But remember seeing him go oppo very often. The Reds, they've had a lot of traffic. We're not able to break through against Hendricks. Alcantara puts him on the board.
So they've been like Las Vegas Boulevard. A lot of traffic. Well
traveled.
Two and one to Votto. And he walked him. Votto has walked all 3 times. And oh, by the way, he ranks 12th all-time in on-base percentage at .425. Of every qualified major league hitter in the history of the game, he's number 12. And if you think he's just an on-base guy, you know, his career slugging puts him in the top 40 all time, 536. Driven to center. Almora's got it. So I give you those numbers. Hall of Famer, Joey Votto. He's probably going to hit 3-something in his career, right? He's going to be that 300, 400, 500.
I'm saying he's on a Hall of Fame path, yeah. I think especially with our appreciation now of a guy who draws a lot of walks and works a high on-base percentage. I think the baseball writers, the guys who vote for the Hall of Fame, I think we all of us around the game have a better understanding of that value.
A strike on Winker.
Yeah, OPS plus, on-base plus slugging, adjusted to the player's stadium. Joey Votto is tied for 18th all-time with Albert Pujols and Tris Speaker.
Winker broke his bat, I think.
Better than Miguel Cabrera.
Wow. How about that?
Better than Manny Ramirez. Better than Frank Robinson. Introducing the Cubs' new instant mobile ticketing offer. The MLB.com ballpark app is yours free. It's secure and it's convenient. That's how you access Cubs Ticket via your mobile device. Download the app at the App Store or Google Play and begin using Ballpark today. For more information, visit Cubs.com/ballpark-app. See, this is spring training, and you have to always work out the kinks. Now, last year, we used to read a promo that always said the app is yours free, and so on and so forth. So this one actually says Ballpark app is your free, secure and convenient way. So I had to try to massage that to work my way through that because
got to recalibrate.
I got ahead of myself there. We'll tighten that up by opening day.
We only have a week to go. Called strike 3. Alcantara has tied it with a home run. It's 2-2. Presented by Canals Auto Park. Len and JD and our CSN crew from Cashman Field in Las Vegas. 13th consecutive year the Cubs played exhibition games here at Cashman Field. 2-2 tie. Cubs got their runs in the first. The Reds got a 2-run homer from Arizmendi Alcantara. And here's Ian Happ, RBI single in the first.
See if Happ can ambush a fastball here. Hit one over the wall.
He tried.
Nothing tentative about that swing.
The Showgirls on the field before the game. I got my picture taken with them last year.
It's a Rob Reiner look-alike back there.
What?
That guy that was in between them, between the feathers, he had a little Rob Reiner going on.
I didn't notice. One and two. Tapped up along first. And Votto with a nice play. And to get to it before it hit the bag. as Happ was running right at him. That's Justin Grimm in the Cubs bullpen.
Andreoli, solid single first time up. John was a 17th round draft pick by the Cubs in 2011 out of University of Connecticut. Figures to start the year at Iowa, where he played last season. Hit 272, 374 on base. Showed a little more power last year than he had in the past. He had 12 home runs. Got speed. He stole 43 bags for Iowa.
Two balls, two strikes. Ali Solis is waiting on deck in the pitcher's spot. And he got him. So Stevenson, who had a rocky first inning, has settled in nicely.
There's that four-seam fastball. Letter high. So difficult to get on top of that ball.
The other Cubs split squad trailing the Rockies 1-0 in the bottom of the fifth. In Scottsdale, Arizona. Javier Baez back in the Cubs lineup today. WBC was fun, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I paid more
it.
attention to it this year than I ever had before.
Same here. Two and one. Solis with the previous big league time as a Padre and a Ray. And a low throw by Alcantara, but Votto digs it out of the dirt. 2-2 at the end of 4 from Vegas.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Whether the Cubs are home or on the road, guided tours of legendary Wrigley Field are available. Tours may include visits to the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. This must-see Chicago attraction houses over 100 years of history. Book your tour at Cubs.com/tours. Kyle Hendricks, 3 scoreless here today, 3 hits, 4 walks. Montgomery gave up a couple in 1 inning, and now Justin Grimm, who has been spotless so far this spring. We'll get Barnhart, Kivlahan, and Renda 6, 7, and 8 in the Reds batting order. This is season number 5 for Justin in a Cub uniform.
Yeah, when he came over from Texas, weren't quite sure if he was going to be a starter or a reliever. One and two.
Didn't quite have the year last year that he had in 2015 when he posted a sub-2 ERA, but still a valuable part of the Cubs bullpen.
Barnhart's role early will be determined by Devin Mesoraco and whether he's able to make the opening day roster. And if not, Barnhart will get a lot of the playing time. Otherwise, he'll be the backup as he grounds out. Here's Kivlahan, former college footballer at Rutgers.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
As we make our way around the league every year, sometimes we'll get food that is local to that city, something they're famous for. Is Las Vegas? Is there something food-wise that, other than like a cheap buffet? I mean, is that?
There are a lot of those you can get.
They got a lot of celebrity chef restaurants in this town now, right?
What I was going to say is all the world-class chefs have places here. Almora back on this ball, and it's going to be off the wall. It'll be played by Andrioli. Kivlahan racing into third, and he's got a triple.
Looked fairly harmless when it left the bat. It was hit so high, but again, with that wind doing its thing out there, pushed that one beyond the reach of Almora. Kivlahan ends up on third base. You see right there, you get a good look at it there, the trajectory of that ball off that bat. More times than not, you're thinking, well, that's an F8 in the scorecard, but that wind just continues to ride that ball all the way to the base of the wall. And I think Albert may have lost track of it a little bit as well.
Infield in.
Tell you what, after tweaking his neck diving for a ball yesterday and being this close to opening day now, I wouldn't blame Albert or any other outfielder from shying away from a wall. For my money, any time in spring training, but certainly this late.
Ground ball, runner will try to score, and he will be thrown out. Kivlahan gunned down by Happ.
Kivlahan moving on contact there, and the key here for Happ, and he hasn't played a ton of second base, and we made the move to that position last year in the minor leagues. The key there is just don't panic. Sometimes you get in a bit of a hurry, you peek at the base runner, you lose sight of the ball.
Stevenson already 2 for 2. Now, don't they have a hotel on the Strip called Treasure Island?
Sounds familiar.
Well, shouldn't Robert Stevenson stay there?
I think he is. I think the rest of the Reds are staying maybe at the Mirage, but he gets comped at Treasure Island.
Now, Matt Caesar is not on the trip, but he would be at his own palace. I had to walk over there last night and correct them on the spelling.
How'd that work out for you?
They looked at me like they did at Zach Galifianakis in the movie. Swing and a miss, throw to first.
And with an aggressive secondary lead, Montero takes a shot after the big swing and miss.
Called strike 3. As we tour the Strip, there is, in parentheses, Matt Caesar's Palace. Tomorrow on CSN, the Bulls head to Milwaukee to continue their playoff push. Coverage begins at 2 with Bulls pregame live, presented by Coors Light and streaming on the NBC Sports app.
It's a dog wearing a Cub hat.
Yeah.
It's pretty clever.
Different kind of dog. Robert Stevenson, the Red starter, still working here in the bottom of the 5th in a 2-2 tie.
He has faced the minimum since the first inning. Got a double play ball in the 3rd. solid effort from him here this afternoon. You noted it earlier, Billy Hamilton, like many great center fielders, just daring guys to hit it over his head out there. There might be as much room behind him as there is in front of him.
Yeah, usually as you look at the outfielders kind of from behind home plate, there's a little bit of an arc, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a straight line. The three outfielders straight across. In the air to right. And that ball's gone. Chesney Young gives the Cubs a 3-2 lead. There's some of that power.
That's what I'm talking about, Chesaroo. Nice moment for Chesney Young. He goes oppo. Pointed out earlier that throughout his minor league career, he's been a high average, high on base guy, but not a lot of slugging. So doesn't get a chance to take that jog around the bases very often. Just 4 home runs last year.
Schwarber takes a strike.
To see how far it would fly if Schwarber were to get into one here.
Among the many great storylines surrounding the 2016 World Champions was the fact that Schwarber suffered what we thought was a season-ending, devastating knee injury in his second game of the year, only to watch him return for the World Series.
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting story to watch play out because, you know, we'd see him working out in the weight room and really grinding, pushing hard to come back, but all along the thinking was there's no way he'd make it back even for the postseason.
Just the visual of the Cubs playing in the NLCS and Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer on an iPad watching Kyle take at bats in the Arizona Fall League with an eye toward the World Series. It's just stuff of legend.
I remember walking into the ballpark in Arizona the day after he got hurt and asking Joe about it. And I said, what was it, ACL? And Joe said, all his L's. He tore all his L's.
And it wasn't just a psychological boost to the team that he was able to come back in the World Series. He went 7 for 17. Huge part of the game-winning rally. In Game 7, pitch on a bounce, and it'll get past Renda, the second baseman.
You get an idea of how hard he hit that ball. Renda's out there in shallow right field playing like a rover position, and that ball still ate him up. You see where he's positioned out there in shallow right. So you can see a ball like this really handcuffing a second baseman at his normal position, but he tried to olay that one even out there in short right.
That'll be it for the starter, Stevenson. We'll see a pitching change. Got a pinch runner for Schwarber as well. 3-2 Cubs in the fifth.
The Cubs are introducing a game-changing new premier experience at Wrigley Field with seats featuring prime views and access to an exclusive club. This experience will allow fans to enjoy Cubs baseball in a whole new way. Visit CubsPremier.com to join the Premier Client Priority List. Tradition, beauty, charm, luxury. Here's a new pitcher. It's a right-hander by the name of Barrett Aston. He's having himself a nice spring. 8 games, a 1.04 ERA.
University of Arkansas product and a high draft pick of the Brewers, 3rd round, 2013. Bijan Rademacher is at first running for Schwarber. Two strikes on Bryant. Nevada-born players. Marty Cordova will be passed very shortly by Bryce Harper.
Didn't Marty Cordova win a Rookie of the Year?
Sounds right.
Twins. That's interesting, right? Harper, I'm assuming, right? Yeah. And then Chris.
Yeah, he was Rookie of the Year.
Remember Marty once had to miss a game because he spent too much time in a tanning bed. Try selling that one to Tom Kelly. TK about as old school as you can get. And trainers apparently had to go in and tell him, hey, Cordova's not available today. He got torched in a tanning bed.
Two on Bryant. In the air to deep left center. Way back. Gone. The hometown hero with a 2-run shot.
Second hit of the day for Chris. Second extra base hit. He doubled. First time up in the bottom of the first. I lost sight of that one. And the MVP chant goes up. Little backdoor or back up breaking ball. It's a beautiful, efficient swing.
So 2 homers in the inning, and the Cubs lead 5-2 as Montero takes a strike. 1-1. Sure, Chris has a lot of family stuff going on this weekend. And it means a lot to him to play these games in this ballpark. Line shot foul to right. That'll get in for Montero, his second hit. Miguel's looking into the dugout, telling his teammates, I meant to do that.
I'm waiting to see if he's going to get pinch run for it. And I think initially he said, I'm okay. I'll just, take this trip around the bases. But his afternoon is over, and it was a good one.
Taylor Davis.
A couple of knocks and an RBI for Montero.
Young and Bryant have homered here in the 5th. Almora pops it up. Joey Votto with the late adjustment. That's the first out. We'll bring up La Stella, who has walked and struck out. A called strike.
Well, if folks will recall last year when Tommy was sent out and he failed to report and he went home and was going through a little bit of an issue. It just ultimately did come back to the ball club, and apparently that was addressed by Joe Madden today when it came up in his scrum with reporters back in Mesa. If you decide to send Tommy to AAA, are you worried that he's not going to go? And he said, no, I'm not worried about that at all. We've had that conversation. That's the way we start the season. Tommy will report. He'll be good with it. Well, he might not be happy about
it. It looks like it could come down to La Stella or Caesar for that last spot on the bench.
And the Cubs hold options on La Stella. They do not on Caesar.
Hamilton plays it on a bounce.
So, you're talking about Montgomery earlier being penalized to a certain extent because of his versatility that he can work out of the bullpen, and that's where he will start the season. The same thing here for Listella, because the Cubs can option him to AAA, and they cannot do that with Caesar without risk, putting him through waivers and possibly losing him. That works against Listella. So, and a lot of times with major league clubs, it's just about controlling inventory at the start of the year.
And I think, though no fault of his own, what would also hurt Caesar in this debate is the Cubs have so much versatility in terms of guys who can play the outfield. So we'll see what transpires over the last week here of spring training.
That's why you're told that the day you sign your first professional contract or show up your first minor league season, it is repeated over and over again throughout your career. Just worry about what you can control. There's certain things out of your hands. Just go play.
And Caesar in particular has had a great spring. Foul. They scatter near the Cubs dugout.
Ugly finder.
Drilled to right. That ball is gone. Ian Happ with a rocket that got out in a hurry, and it's 8-2.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter whether it's Cincinnati, Chicago, Goodyear, Mesa, Las Vegas. When it's Cubs-Reds, the Cubs are going to hit home runs. Oh, nice pass at this breaking ball. Watch the hand stay long through the zone and extended. Now, that's not a high towering one that's really going to take advantage of that win. More of a line drive home run.
Boy, it held its trajectory for a long time. I thought that ball was going to land off the wall. I think of some of the line drives Ryan Klesko used to hit. You'd say about 15 feet off the ground all the way to the wall.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Yes. Cubs now lead by 6. You know what that was, JD? It was a happy home run.
Maybe someday we'll get a Ian Happ versus J Happ matchup.
It could happen. Called strike 3.
Maybe. Could have been. Didn't have to be.
Victor Caratini now will pinch hit. You make the call. Looked like a strike, but Barnhart had to really reach for it. Any progress on your you make the call game?
No.
Video game?
No,
or?
I think when we brought that up last year, I'm just an idea guy. I'm not really much into implementing these things.
That would have been a good pitch for that game. Is it a strike or a ball?
Mm-hmm.
Alejandro CIN getting ready in the Cincinnati bullpen. Ball 4, Caratini walks. And Young, who started the inning with a home run, will bat again.
Here's a little known fact, at least for me. I found this out today when I was wandering through the hotel. You can wager on spring training baseball.
That's wild.
That doesn't seem like a real sound proposition at all. How do you predict what's going to happen in a spring training game?
Ground ball through for a base hit. Young is 2 for 2 here in the 5th.
He's having an inning. And he started the inning by doing this, lofting this fly ball that just continued to ride on out of here.
Looks like that will be it for Aston. Jim Riggleman will grab the ball. 8-2 Cubs in the 5th.
Travel like a world champion with Cubs Destinations. Packages include game tickets, hotel accommodations, ballpark tours, Cubs swag, and a private meet and greet with a current Cub player. Be a part of our first trip of the season to Boston's Fenway Park, April 28th through the 30th. For more information, visit Cubs.com/destinations.
Alejandro CIN.
See his numbers for the spring. Last year at AA, Pensacola, he was 5-2 with a 1.78 ERA, 52 appearances, all out of the bullpen. Good strikeout numbers, punched out 75 in 60 2/3 innings of work.
That is a minor league ballpark I would love to see.
Pensacola?
Yeah.
Home of the Blue Wahoos.
I think the park is on the water, kind of has that AT&T Park feel to it. Maybe someday, 25, 30 years, they'll rename it after Addison Russell, Pensacola native. Oh, yeah. You haven't had fun at the ballpark until you got grass stains all over.
Yeah, they need to get a cardboard box.
Sellout today, 11,455.
Looks like a seal.
Isn't it nice to know with all the technology? Oh, that just took his glove off. And everybody's safe. Rademacher with a line shot back to the mound, and Chacin got a glove on it, but he couldn't hang on to the glove.
Caratini moving with the pitch there, and yeah, right back at his grill. That was scary.
David Bodie batting with the bases loaded, and 6 runs already in here in the 5th. And a strike. I was just going to say, with all the devices and kids sitting there on their phones staring at stuff, isn't it nice to know that just to entertain them, all they need is a steep hill?
Yeah, a little hill, a little grass.
When we were kids.
And we liked it.
Of course, all of their friends are texting them, hey, you're on TV sliding down a hill. They'll make it into a Twitter meme. One and two.
Pretty soon we're going to have 40-year-old guys sliding down that hill.
Chacin's pitch. Lifted out into right center. And Hamilton will let Winker take it. 6 runs in. Home runs in the inning. Young, Bryant, and Happ. 8-2. UCLA, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
November 2nd, 2016. There was drama, rain, and baseball. CSN presents Rainman, the story behind Game 7, an hour-long documentary narrated by country music sensation and lifelong Cubs fan Brett Eldridge. Rainman, presented by Benny's Beverage Depot, premieres Monday at 9:30. Bunch of changes for the Cubs. This is sidewinding right-hander David Berg, and a strike on Billy Hamilton.
Mr. Berg. 4-4, 5-17 last year.
UCLA product.
Cubs drafted him in the 6th round, 2015. 6'1", 210. 23 years of age. Be 24 in a couple of days.
A lot of the starters are now out. So Davis and Bodie at the corners. Caratini catching. Rademacher is in left. Hamilton has struck out twice and walked once. Just foul. That ball snaked up along the foul line.
Yeah, there comes a point with Hamilton going down the line where you have no option but to let it roll and hope it goes foul. I guess that can be said about any base runner, but you have to make that determination a little bit sooner with a guy like Hamilton.
Broken bat pop-up. Shortstop Young's got it.
David Berg pitched at 2 levels for the Cubs last year at Myrtle Beach in the Carolina League. He was 2-0 with a 1.42 ERA, pitching 9 times there. Then at AA, he was 2-4 with a 6.28 in 34 appearances. Just his second season in professional ball.
Breaking ball for a strike. Alcantara from the right side tied it up with a 2-run homer in the 4th. Wind has been a big factor in this game. A couple of the home runs have certainly been wind aided. But they still count. Two and two.
Thanks for asking.
Foul ball.
See, Berg's got that funky delivery, but when he finishes, he's square to home plate.
Foul ball.
See, Berg's got that funky delivery, but when he finishes, he's square to home plate. And most sidewinders like that sink the ball and they'll get a lot of ground balls. So you want him in a solid fielding position once you turn it loose. So it starts funky, but he finishes pretty square to home plate.
This time, Caratini will jump on it.
I don't know the David Berg story. I don't know if he's always thrown this way, if he is a more conventional pitcher and then wasn't having a lot of success and opted to go to plan B.
Right, because usually that's the case. You don't start out.
Yeah.
Well, had a great career at UCLA as a closer. And I'm pretty sure this is how he pitched when he was in college. Votto fouls. 3 plate appearances, 3 walks for Joey Votto. You mentioned no Brandon Phillips. He's now with the Atlanta Braves. Votto and Phillips so long on the right side of that infield in Cincinnati, as Davis will retire him. Berg goes 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. Cubs lead 8-2. Cub fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC. Really nice afternoon. The wind has played a role. A lot of balls that might normally be caught or at least hit the wall have gone over that wall today. And our friends are still lounging out on the berm in the shade. Taylor Davis will lead off for the Cubs. And looks at a ball low. A lot of changes for the Reds, which we will get to you as time moves along here. Inside that time. 2-0 the count.
Did you get all the changes?
I think I did. Kiplahan is now playing first. Ground ball to the shortstop. Vinci. I believe that's Zach Vinci.
Yeah, I believe that is correct.
Philip Irvin is in left. Got a new center fielder. I believe that's Bo Amaral. Not positive. But I'm going to go with it for now. Broken bat roller toward the middle. Backhanded play. Renda late. That's a hit for Almora.
Well placed. Salbert 1 out of 4 this afternoon.
That'll bring up Todd Glazman. Fastball at the knees for a strike. We'll see the Reds, 19 times during the regular season. This is the fourth of five, I should say, Cactus League matchups.
Reds have finished last in the division each of the last 2 seasons, 68 and 94. Last year, finishing 35.5 games behind the Cubs. And we have a lot of ground to make up.
Got him. Looking. Glazman is out. And here's Happ, who's knocked in 4 already today. Can't stop him. More the runner at first. 2 outs, 6th inning. Now 2-1.
Might come out of his shoes here. Maybe more impressive that he didn't.
Yep, pitcher strike. 3-2. Got him. Back-to-back Ks to end the inning. Off to the 7th. All Cubs today, 8-2.
Presented by ATI Physical Therapy and Ideal Industries. Young sluggers ages 5 to 13 have the chance to suit up in Cub gear, meet a current Cub player during a VIP Wrigley Field visit, and receive top-notch baseball instruction. Enroll now at any of the 8 Chicagoland locations. Visit Cubs.com/kids for more information.
Right-hander Dallas Beeler will work here in the 7th.
Limited due to injury last year, pitched just 8 times at AAA Iowa, was 2-0 with a 4.15 ERA.
5 major league starts previously. Those guys should have traveled with us to Florida last year. That's what that trip looked like, right?
Yeah.
The ugly trips. Tourist look. Not that they're ugly, it's just, kind of a garish outfit.
They're probably groomsmen in a wedding later on today, and that's probably the get-up.
Yeah, that's a good call. Life is good. Here's Vincey.
Yeah, Dallas made a couple starts for the Cubs in 2014. 3 more in 2015. A 41st round draft pick of the Cubs back in 2010 out of Oral Roberts.
Really patterned his delivery after Roy Halladay. Sinker's low. 3-1. Bryant Flette now playing second. Full count on Vincey.
Yeah, the boys over the radio booth, Pat and Ron, were asking me about this kid's name. I said, how do you pronounce his name? I said, we're going with Vinci. They weren't sure. It looks like Vincege or something.
On the pronunciation guide, that's what it says. Pat and Ron were making faces at the camera during our interview with Rossi Rallencotter.
It's Vinci. It's Vinci.
A real intimate booth over there. Rademacher makes the catch. They'll bring up Winker.
Did Dallas have shoulder last year? Is that the issue? I don't recall. But,
sounds right.
Whoop, whoop.
And he lost his footing. Good effort there by Bodie, but he can't get him. That's an infield single.
Buehler likes to sink the fastball, and like we were talking with Berg, usually there's plenty of opportunities for sinker ballers to help themselves defensively, and this time he just slipped a little bit as he went to plant that foot. Came up empty. It'll go as a base hit.
Yes, it was right shoulder inflammation. That held him to just 8 appearances last year. Low for a ball on the catcher Barnhart.
Dallas has been pitching professionally since 2010. He's compiled a minor league record of 31-29 with a 3.68 earned run average.
Pierce Johnson getting loose. Didn't recognize him with the short hair. Only runs for the Reds coming on a home run from Arizmendi Alcantara in the 4th. That's been it. He walked him. Two on for Kivlahan. Now with the conditions today, 6-run lead here late is not nearly as comfortable as it may seem, especially if you start walking people. And that's a strike. You might occasionally hear what sounds like a monster from maybe a dream when you were 12. It is one of the beer vendors here at Cashman Field.
He's trying to scare you into buying a beer.
Beer. It must work.
The young man must have made the play.
2 strikes on Kivlahan, who chokes up on the bat. Pitch is down. Runner was on the move, and Caratini can't get him.
Ruled a wild pitch. I thought he was moving with the pitch.
I thought he was too.
Base, right?
He might have just been
anticipating.
Yeah, once the ball hit the dirt, he might have gone. I would be generous because it's spring training and give him a stolen base, personally.
I was kind of questioning why he would be running in that situation if he were moving with the pitch. But
2-2 tap foul. He just got a big secondary.
And just a good job of reading the ball in the dirt. So no stolen base. And a good call by the official scorer.
They get one. They get two, and they keep the Reds off the board in the 7th. Stretch time. It's 8-2 Cubs.
A piece of Cubs history as part of the Cubs' ongoing effort to restore and modernize Wrigley Field. Several sections of seats have been or will be removed. These seats are now available to purchase in sets of 2. Visit Cubs.com/seat sale for more information.
New pitcher is Austin Orweiler.
He was at Class A Dayton last year. He didn't have a lot of luck in the one-loss department, but respectable 4.05 ERA for 131 innings of work. The Dayton Dragons.
We say wins and losses don't matter, but you're wearing a 3-14 in the low minors. That can't feel too good.
No. Pitched collegiately at Rice University. 14th round pick of the Reds in 2015. So he hasn't been at it all that long.
John Andrioli fouls away. Bottom 7, Cubs lead 8-2. Single and 3 trips for Andrioli. Oh, John got hit. And he says he's all right, but Matt Johnson, one of the Cubs athletic trainers, is going to come out to make sure. And when you get hit in the helmet in an exhibition game, you're probably coming out.
Yeah, I would think.
You got to come out.
Yep, no sense messing around.
So we will get a pinch runner. Charcer Burks. And it's Caratini with a man on and nobody out. The pitch. Ball one. In the air to right, and that baby will go. Two-run homer, Victor Caratini. 10-2.
Victor Caratini, good-looking young player, good offensive player, improving his defensive work behind the plate. We're speaking with Mike Borzello about him earlier this spring. He's very high on Caratini. Hard worker, smart guy. And boy, he got into that one. That was way back there in the rock pile. Maybe a splitter, looked like something off speed.
Young just got clipped.
Orweiler has a little bit of that low three-quarters arm action. He works underneath the ball, and it's going to create some movement. That two-seamer, some run-in on right-handed hitters. And a couple of them have gotten away from him.
Rademacher. Pinch ran for Schwarber in the fifth, came up later and singled in that same inning. Ground ball to first, knocked down by Kivlahan, and the pitcher Orweiler covering. That's out number one. David Bodie. Colorado native. Turns 24 in a couple of weeks. '18th rounder, 2012. Takes a strike, 1-1.
Spent most of last year at Myrtle Beach, Class A in the Carolina League, a little bit of time at Tennessee, and 12 games at Iowa.
He attended a school I had not previously heard of. Are you familiar with Neosho County Community College in Kansas?
I am not.
One, two, ground ball, diving stop, and Renda.
He may have jammed his shoulder a little bit.
Keeps a run from scoring, but yeah, it looks like he's a little banged up.
Talking about letting a ball get deep. Bodie waiting, inside out swing, and Renda just looked a little awkward the way he rolled over there. Right shoulder hard into the ground.
Again, he's one of those bubble guys And in this spot, you tend to just say, I'm fine. But
and it appears to be the left wrist that is bothering him. Cubs now with 15 hits in this ball game. 4 of them have left the yard.
First and third, 1 out. Davis called strike. Count holding at 0-2. Couldn't get him to bite on a breaking ball.
Do you think Orweiler is related to Russ Detweiler?
No.
But if Ross Ollendorf married Ross Detweiler, they would get Orweiler.
Okay. In the dirt. 2-2. Or Detdorf. Another Cubs split squad trailing late against the Rockies 7-3 in Arizona.
He'd be real comfortable for the right-handed hitters now. Orweiler's hit a couple already, and again with that action he gets on that two-seam fastball, it's going to be a lot of stuff moving in on these right-handed hitters.
Jason Hayward with a 2-run homer for the Cubs today. Brett Anderson got the start. 4 innings, 6 hits, 1 unearned run. Wade Davis struggled, just recorded an out. Gave up 4 runs, a couple of hits, 2 walks. And try to turn it. 4-6-3, and the Cubs finished in the 7th. They get 2 more on the Caratini homer. It's now 10-2. right-hander Pierce Johnson, converted starter, now pitching out of the bullpen. I think you got to wear those goggles if you're out of the bullpen. A little more intimidating.
Yeah,
right?
you got to have a little, well, especially since he cut his hair. Have a little something going on. Used to have the long locks.
Cubs are very popular among little dogs. Eighth inning, 10-2. Ball one to Renda. Burks now on defense and left, and Carlos Peñalver is at short. Rademacher over in right. Renda, who appeared to injure himself on that play on defense, not feeling very good after that swing.
Clearly favoring that left wrist.
Fastball at 93 with good life. 1-2. 2-2, check that, on Tony Renda.
Johnson, 25 years of age now, first round pick of the Cubs, 43rd overall in 2012 out of Missouri State. Primarily a starting pitcher throughout his minor league career. Last year did a little of both. Made 11 starts, 11 relief appearances at Iowa. Finished 4-6 with an ERA above 6.
That's a foul ball. And that's ball 4. Rob Brantley is now catching Will bat. Renda will be taken out for a pinch runner. Juan Perez running at first. So Brantley with a man on, nobody out, 8th inning. So here's what's left after this weekend. 2 here against the Reds. They'll split squads. Night game Monday against the Indians in Goodyear. Home games Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll have Tuesday's game from Mesa right here on CSN against the Giants. And wrap up the Cactus League schedule on Wednesday versus Oakland. It's off to Houston Thursday and Friday. We'll have Friday afternoon's game here on CSN. Cubs will then fly to St. Louis. Off day Saturday. Nationally televised season opener Sunday night. That deflects off the glove of Bodie and into foul ground, and that's a hit for Brantley, and he's going to hold it first. Perez now at third. So the Reds threatening here in the eighth.
Always a tough chance for a third baseman when a left-handed hitter shoots the ball in that direction, but that ball was sharply hit. And lost spin on it. Good effort. Let's see if Johnson can clean things up here.
Bo Amaral.
If you were to say to me, I know a guy named Bo Amaral, I would say he's probably a ball player.
Well, he is the son of Rich Amaral. He played in the big leagues for 10 years. UCLA product. Popped up back of the plate into the seats. Cubs playing back, trying to turn two here. And a line drive is caught by Rademacher, and the runner at third. Perez will hold, one away.
Well, that's a hang with him. Yep. Stayed on the breaking ball, hit it hard, but nothing to show for it.
Here's Seth Mejias Breen pinch hitting. Breaking ball misses outside, 4-1. He played at the University of Arizona. Eighth-round pick, 2012. Five years in the Reds minor league system. Check swing bouncer toward right and through, and they'll get a run. It's 10-3.
We'll see. That's baseball in a nutshell right there, isn't it? Amaral hits a bullet to right.
Yeah.
You got 0 for 1. This guy with a little check swing roller squirts through the right side. He's got himself an RBI single.
Phillip Ervin. Get me over breaking ball. 0-1. A walk, 2 singles, and a run here in the Reds' 8th.
There's action in the Cubs bullpen.
Steven Paraxlis.
One hopper to short would work.
Popped him up.
There's Steven.
So 2 gone now. Vinci. Fastball inside corner for a strike.
So I wandered into the sports book at the casino earlier today just to see what was going on in there. And you can bet on the over-under total wins for every team in Major League Baseball. Cubs over-under was set at, I want to say 96.5.
Wow.
97 maybe. Won 103 last year.
97 the year before. It's an interesting number. One and two. Johnson's had to grind through this 8th inning. You see 26 pitches made.
If this were a regular season game, the Reds would be lamenting all the men left on base. They've had a lot of traffic.
Vinci chased a bad one. They get a run, but still trail this one late, 10-3.
Welcome back. It's handsome jacket. Score is 10-3. The Cubs lead. Batting here in the bottom half of the 8th. They've banged out 15 hits. Among those 15 hits, 4 home runs. As is normally the case in a spring training game, we've seen a slew of pitchers from both sides. Austin Orweiler back out there for his second inning of work for the Reds. A lot of Utes here today, running around, sliding down the hill, eating ice cream, chasing down autographs.
Flatte to start it. And he swats one in the right. That's a base hit. Cubs just keep hitting. See the Reds changes on defense. Upper left. Now Glazman. That is foul. Cubs have gotten homers today. From Chris Bryant, Chesney Young, Ian Happ, and Victor Caratini. Another hit by pitch. That's 3 here in these 2 innings.
You're trying to go down and away with that fastball, and he just flies open. And when you do that, it's going to create a lot of movement the other way.
Carlos Peñalver.
Club hitters have to be getting a little frustrated. Orweiler's inability to command that fastball is no fun getting pinged in spring training.
Peñalver, 22 years old, spent last year at Tennessee, Double-A. Cubs signed him out of Venezuela back in 2010.
Johnson Station.
Just looking out at the Reds bullpen thinking they might need to get somebody up, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, they sent Brantley out to the mound to have a little chat to
now see,
buy some time for Shackelford to start to get loose.
Didn't we talk about the idea of getting rid of warm-up pitch limits in a counterintuitive measure to help pace of game? So this is the perfect circumstance. As a manager, you wouldn't have to tell your catcher to go talk to your pitcher. If you wanted to bring in a new pitcher, You just go out, make a change, tell the new guy coming in you can warm up in the bullpen or on the mound, whatever you need. And you split the difference. It probably takes longer to waste time to get the guy ready. Safe at first. Bases loaded. Nobody out. And by the way, I have brought up my idea to some people within the game, and they think I'm nuts.
Well, as like all these ideas, they should play around with it in lower minor leagues and see.
But my thought is the 8 pitches that a reliever normally gets to get ready, most guys get ready pretty quickly, aren't going to need much more than 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think we waste a lot of time trying to get the guy ready in the bullpen. So if we just took that part of it out of the game, the other way
net result may be faster.
Right. Well, the other way would be to limit the visits to the mound even by the catcher. They will turn it. A run scores. It's now 11-3. 2 outs in the inning. Would you be opposed to counting catcher visits to the mound as a visit, like a coach?
I would not be opposed to that. I would be on board, and again, I would like to see it implemented at the minor league level first, just to see, and to give players a chance to adjust to it, to see how it influenced pace of play.
So you could tell your catcher to go make that visit to waste time for the reliever to get ready, but the next visit to the mound by anybody means you got to take the pitcher out.
Yeah.
Well, I think this commissioner is going to be open to any and all ideas along those lines. Yasiel Ballagert will pinch hit. On Ballagert. A little pop up, and it's caught by the second baseman, Perez, to end the inning. To the ninth, Cubs 11, Reds 3. University of Maine alum Stephen Paraxlis, 26 years old, 6'1", 185, Massachusetts native.
Those numbers combined from AA and AAA last year, mostly at Tennessee in the Southern League, 2-4 with a 3.47 ERA there. Then at Iowa in the PCL, he was 0-1 with a 4. He made 3 starts, a couple of relief appearances at AAA. That was his first exposure to AAA ball since signing in 2012. 21st round pick, as Len mentioned, out of Maine. Billy Swift, and then fine major league career. Pitched at the University of Maine. He comes to mind. He was a Black Bear. I don't know about that program. Used to be really strong. I don't know how they do these days, but I know back in the day they make the occasional trip to the College World Series.
Mark Sweeney, Mike Bordick. Also went to Maine. Harland Rowe, back in 1916, was a big leaguer from the University of Maine. Smoked into center.
Winker's going the distance here today. He's a good-looking young hitting prospect for the Reds.
Yeah, they like him.
Yeah, he stays on that sinker. That's the hit tool is a strong one for this young man. Good plate discipline, developing power. Could find his way to Cincinnati at some point this season.
Joel Hudson rifles one to deep left and gone. That's a 2-run blast. 11-5.
Joe Hudson jumps all over this first pitch fastball. It's belly button high, right over the heart of the plate.
Adrian Nieto, strike one. Two and one. WGN tomorrow. Tim Adelman for the Reds. Eddie Butler has been really good this spring for the Cubs. Base hit right field. 3 straight hits for the Reds to start the ninth.
Oh, I tell you, these Reds, they don't quit.
29 hits combined.
So here's a fun game you can play at home. Perez is a very common name in baseball.
Yeah.
So you could go back and forth trying to name a Perez. Like, I'll go with Juan Perez.
Tony.
Dallas.
Rademacher. Nice grab on the warning track. Eduardo.
Carlos.
Roberto.
Melito.
Hernan.
Is there a time limit in this game?
I was going to say this game didn't last very long. Could go Martin.
Martin, well, okay.
Could go Oliver.
Doug.
Pasquale.
Oh, Pasquale. They not come up with Pasquale.
Bradley taps foul. How about Salvador?
Oh, man.
Got all kinds.
I don't know. You smoke me. People always ask how do pitchers while away their time in the bullpen. That would be an example right there.
Just come up with a good baseball surname.
Yeah, some kind of a name game.
All right. All-time minor league players with the surname Paraxlis. Go.
Stay down. Oh, man. Never got down.
If Flete had been able to snag it, that would have been a game-ending double play. As it is, it's a base hit.
Second one for Brantley since entering the game. He's hit the ball sharply both times. Last time it was a inside-out swing down to third base. This time, sharp one hopper. Flete not able to get behind it, and he pays the price.
Bo Amaral. Cubs lead by 6 here in the ninth.
New category, sons of major league players who have worn a Reds uniform. I'll go Bo Amaral.
Okay. Ken Griffey Jr.
Eddie Perez.
Aaron Boone.
Ooh, good one.
And again,
Bob Boone.
Nice. Our game has fizzled out quickly once again.
Buddy Bell. Yeah, you start playing the father-son game. You can get the Boone and the Bell thing going.
Do broadcasters count?
Sure.
Tom Brenneman.
Throw Tommy out there.
Oh, it hits a bag. 1 run is in. It's 11-6.
Sooner or later, they're going to hit one at somebody, and the Cubs are going to get a double play and end this ball game. Reds are starting to catch up in the hit department. They now have 14. The Cubs have banged out 17.
Base hit. 11-7. Mahias Breen drives in a run. Getting a little too close for comfort. The tying run is now on deck. All right, last one. You ready?
7-11 would be a fitting score to end a game in Las Vegas. Yeah, what do you got?
major league players all time with hyphenated last names. I think there's one.
There's one? Just
Ryan Roland Smith. So Mejias Breen could be the second player ever with the hyphenated last name.
What about Ivan Gulagan-Kali?
He was a tennis player. I said major league. 1-1 the count on Irvin. Daniel Corsino is up in the Cubs bullpen just in case. And he is a former Cincinnati Red. Low for a ball, 2-2. Called strike 3.
Good pitch. Driving that fastball to the outside corner. Down around the knees.
Fly ball to left. And it's caught. Nicely done by Charcer Burks. Cubs win. Cubs win 11-7, the final score. It was a day of offense with the wind blowing out. Chris Bryant in his hometown with a home run. This is a nice running grab by Burks.
Yeah, he had some heroics earlier in the spring, and he's a hero today, finally ending this one as the Reds made a big push here in the ninth, pushed 4 runs across, 6 home runs total in this ball game. The Cubs had 4 of them, 32 hits, 18 runs. A lot of action for these folks here in Vegas. They like that. They like bells and whistles and high-scoring baseball games.
So for JD, our director Jim Angio, our producer Michelle Godwin, our associate producer Chris Kampka, our tech manager Mark Harper, our executive producer Jim Corno Jr., and our entire CSN crew, this is Len Casper saying so long. You've been watching Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago. Final score once again, Cubs 11, Reds 7.